Hey, what's going on? My name's DeMarco, and today we're going to talk about candlestick charts, how to read them, what time frames to use, and how to identify and draw trend lines. Let's get into it. So we have tradingview.com opened here. If you guys are not familiar with TradingView, it's the #1 resource and social network for traders. So I think it's a great charting platform. I use it all the time. And there are a lot of people that you can connect with that can teach you much more than I can teach you. So I definitely recommend getting on TradingView. There's a free subscription. There's also a paid subscription. I started off free for several months and then I upgraded to the paid subscription. I'm not getting paid by TradingView, but I love it. It's an excellent application and it's very, very helpful when it comes to charting and setting up your trades. So let's take a look at the chart. First of all, what is a chart? A chart is just basically showing you the value of a financial instrument over a set period of time. It could be any financial instrument. It could be stock, bond, ETF, crypto, anything, an index. There's so many different financial instruments out there, and this just shows you a representation of those values over time. So there's a lot of ways to depict it. What we're seeing on the screen right here is a candlestick chart. On the top of TradingView here, you can click on it, and you can click on bars if you want to see a bar chart, line chart. We're going to stick to candles. This is what I started to learn over a year ago, and this is what I pretty much is my go-to. So let's talk about candlesticks. Each candlestick represents a specific period of time. So this candlestick, currently we're on a day chart. And if at the top left here, you can see 1 day. So you can select 1 second, a minute, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, etc. So I just selected the day chart. So this candle represents 1 day's worth of trading. Same thing. Each of these candles is 1 day, and it shows us a lot of key information. It shows us an open price. It shows us a close price. It shows us the high of that candle and the low of that candle. Now we can take a look at another resource here, Investopedia, and this will show us a little bit more about candlesticks, but all we have to know is what we're looking at, so, and what the candle represents. So there's these wicks at the end here, which will show the high price, wick at the low, the open price, and the close. Now if the price closes below the open, then it's a bearish candle. If the price closes above the open price, then it's a bullish candle. And that's what you see on this chart here, the red and green. So you can see that this obviously opened here and closed here. This candle opened here and closed here. And let's say this candle opened here and closed here. And again, these are daily candles. Also on TradingView, you can hover over the candle and it'll actually tell you the open, the high, the low, and the close. So it's really simple to see. Now let's get into time frames. So one of the first things that I learned when I first started trading, when I was looking at charts, was when in doubt, zoom out. Meaning, if you're on the smaller time frames, the lower time frames, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, like, what trade should I do? Zoom out, go to the higher time frames, and see what the bigger picture is. So right here, we're on the 30-minute chart. Let's go out to the weekly chart. So now each of these candles is 1 week of time. Now, something also that you should consider is that because they're taking much more time to form the candles, the price is going to be much different. So we can see this one candle went from, on July 27th, went from 93.71 to a high of 106. So that's a significant increase there, right? Versus if you go to the 5-minute, you can see these little tiny candles, 149.04 to a high of 149.38. So it's a smaller move here. So it depends on your, what your strategy is when you're selecting your time frame. But again, let's go back to the weekly chart and let's identify a trend now. So how do we draw a trend line? It's very simple, actually. You want to connect at least 2 points on the chart. The more, the merrier. Like you definitely, if there's, you can draw draw it from anywhere. There's an art to drawing trend lines apparently, but there's a lot of different ways to draw it. But basically you just want to draw it, if it's in an uptrend, you want to draw it on the bottom of the candles going up and touch at least 2 points. So I start at the bottom. You can put it at the wick. I like to put it at the body. It's up to you. Sometimes I put it at the wick depending on the scenario. Touch it here and went up. Now you could also draw it another way. Maybe I start here. I see a trend forming here. So it's a few more touches here. So this is a trend. So maybe Apple's going to pull back and test this trend line. Maybe it'll come back down to 140 before it bounces up. And that's how you draw an uptrend. Now, what's something, let's say, is in a downtrend? So let's take a look at F-cell. This is a big one. So since February of this year, it's been in a downtrend. It had a major reversal and is in a downtrend. So how do you draw a downtrend line? Use your tool here, select it, trend line. And now you put it at the top of 2 points. So you can draw it here. Could also draw it from here to here, since this touches more points. And there's trend lines on every single chart, the 5-minute chart, the weekly, the daily. Again, it depends on your strategy, what you're trying to set up, but you just have to identify a trend line. Do you know the trend? Now, advanced traders, most of the time they can look at the chart and they already know the trend. They don't need to put a line on a chart to see. But in the beginning, when you start to trade, it helps. It definitely helps you identify trends. And then once you have more experience, you can just look at a chart and be like, boom, downtrend. Got it. Now let's see where we're going to enter and exit. Also, sometimes things are trading sideways. So this is Best Buy. And we could take a look here and show that since August of 2020, Best Buy has pretty much been going sideways. So here we might have, we might use like a channel, right? Or you could just draw a trend line at the very top, just to depict the channel, and the bottom. So it seems like Best Buy is trading within this area for a long period of time. So maybe it'll come back down and test 99 before it goes up, or maybe it's found support here and it's going to go up a little bit higher. But it seems like this top line is resistance. And this bottom line is support for that time period. So now if we zoom out, we can probably tell that it's in an uptrend, right? Yeah, so we can just say that on the higher time frame, hey, it's still an uptrend, it's still bullish, right? You just draw that trend line there. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. I just want you guys to know that there's also sideways movement. Sometimes it's not an uptrend, it's not a downtrend, it's been going sideways for quite some time. So in this video, we learned about the basics of candlestick charts, time frames, and how to draw trend lines. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting more content here about trading, so I hope to see you guys in the next video.